When I was in high school, I recall being on mother's BlackBerry just chowing her data downloading and lo-fi music, of course. This is the kind of lo-fi music I heard.
Heads are hanging from the garbage man.
Many years have passed since those days, but these days, if we talk about lo-fi, this is the kind of stuff that comes to mind. The rise of lo-fi / chill study beats, or whatever you want to call it, has consequently changed the way we view the overall term of the word lo-fi, especially with the link to the genre of hip-hop. Low fidelity. This is where the word lo-fi stems from, and this refers to the use of vinyl crackles, sample distortion, primarily to evoke feelings of nostalgia. But let's just backtrack a bit. If there's so many genres associated with this term lo-fi, how did lo-fi hip-hop rise and exponentially gain a fandom across the internet? There are some great videos out there that go into detail as to what the genre is. Although in this video, we tell the tale of how lo-fi hip-hop became popular and the impact that it has on our lives. If you recently got into this, bruh, there's something that you need to understand. This is not a new occurrence. If you wanted to be frank, right? Lo-fi hip-hop is literally boom-bap instrumentals with sonic and visual aesthetics. Hip-hop itself literally started off as a lo-fi genre, scraping together whatever equipment you can find to make shit work. The artists that have been prominent include Madlib, Nujabes, DJ Shadow, Pete Rock, and of course, J Dilla. In their time, their works were simply described as beats / instrumentals, or just simply slotted into the hip-hop category. In my opinion, their works happen to sound lo-fi primarily because of the records they sampled, and because of the equipment they used. The irony is that their works generally had a polished sound to it. The actual spirit of the term lo-fi or even chill hop played a massive role. What I'm about to say may sound fucking obvious, but of course it's necessary. Because of the general name conceived of the low fidelity beats that were released, more producers began to explore the genre to see what it had in store. A good example of this is one of my favorite genres of all time, chill wave. After the term was coined, we began to see a range of artists flood the subgenre. By naming something, you create a difference. You now say that this is real. Because lo-fi hip-hop is so easy to produce, this aided in the genre's proliferation. As Spotify playlists and of course YouTube channels became popular, many had sly intentions and jumped on the bandwagon through lazily producing works in the hopes of being featured on these channels. Beatmakers tend to grab a sample, predominantly from jazz music, add drums, and then include, and then BAM! You have lo-fi music. This is part of the reason why it is criticized for being sluggish and oversaturated. But just because it's easy to produce does not mean it is easy to encapsulate that feeling. When listeners speak about lo-fi, they're referring to a certain mood, a certain sensation. They're not referring to the sound of low fidelity. In 2011, YouTube announced the launch of live streaming, and honestly, this is the key reason we saw a rise in the popularity of lo-fi. Last year was the season for lo-fi hip-hop, bruh, as a lot of online pirate radios would spring up. The vital word here is pirate radio. Many channels featured music with unclipped samples and clips from anime and movies.
They say humans are social animals. They can't live alone. But you can live pretty well by yourself. They say humans are social animals. They can't live alone. But you can live pretty well by yourself.
In 2018, Chill Up Records received a copyright strike from anime house Studio Shinzu for the use of a character from the feature film Wolf Children. People were not pleased, bruh. The reaction of the internet really highlighted something. Themes of melancholy and loneliness are richer than brine within the movement, and damn, the supportive elements of the chat room and the calming effects of the music create a sentimental bond with not just the music, but also the community of millennials that are experiencing similar struggles, inevitably making us feel less alone. Let's play a game. I'm gonna give you a definition and you're gonna tell me the answer. Alright? You up for it? Okay, here we go. A form of slow instrumental music. It uses repetitive but gentle sound patterns that can be described as sonic wallpaper to complement one's space and generate a sense of calmness. Am I talking about ambient music? Or am I talking about lo-fi? And the answer is ambient music. But hold on, if you go back to that definition, that literally sounds like lo-fi. It's quite safe to say that lo-fi hip-hop is our generation's answer to ambient music. Hip-hop is literally the most popular genre in the world, and our gravity towards lo-fi makes complete sense. That is the rhythmic style that is so prominent within our music consumption.
Here's some new style bubbling up, then they bite this shit down.
The fact that lo-fi is accessible and still provides a sense of ambience that we're able to get lost in is the reason why we're so lost in the sauce, as Gucci Mane would say. This also isn't mentioned enough, but the genre is also fueled by a call to action. Think about it. Music to study to, music to game to, music to fall asleep to. The playlists and online pirate radios aren't only related to emotions, but they are linked to verbs and actions that we can all relate to. This technically makes lo-fi the sound of day-to-day living. The somewhat meditative feel of lo-fi music can either thrust you where you really hone in on what you're doing, or it could be used as a form of escapism from the world. When we speak of good study music, good focus music has no vocals, no strong melodies, a dark spectrum, and dense texture. Instead of scientific parameters like specific frequency modulations, lo-fi and studying are like this, ultimately because of the actual notes and the rhythms that are being played. The open sound of the chords allows for the ambience to become the focus of the rhythm. Although, and this is where the but comes in, there's a large percentage of people that perceive lo-fi beats as music that is only good to study to and to work to. A question that comes up a lot is, how is lo-fi music going to expand to become something that is more than just study music, something that's more than just something that is easy to make? The genre is continuously bashed for overt romanticism of depression and the lack of originality and innovation. People can trash talk lo-fi all day, but the truth is, it really supplies people with a truly immersive listening experience. A big shout out to Soundcast Studios. This is literally where we make everything. If you're ever in Cape Town and you need a studio, whether it be for recording, whether it be for shoots, this is the place. If you are new to the channel, check out our other videos. There are some videos that are on our Instagram and Facebook that are not on YouTube, so you probably want to check that out too. Thank you so much for watching.